self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists. What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists. We have a special guest here with us today. Introduce yourself, sir.
AC Blow in the building.
Yep. So for those of you who have been listening to the show for a while, you will know that I make a whole lot of references to a friend of mine that I have all these debate with, and I talk about the things that he says. That would be AC here.
That would be me. Yeah.
And so he's gonna, straighten out, and I'm making air quotes, some of the things that I said
we're gonna
about
get into
him.
it. Yeah.
And we'll get into it. We're gonna get into it.
All right, well, let me hit you up with the website information. Go to conversationconartist.com. Check out all of the links for our stories for this week, all our old episodes of the podcast as well as the current one. Also on the left side, you'll see a little envelope. Hover over that. You can leave some feedback, listen to letter, anything. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Mister_on point.
And I can be found at Red_Calamity. Every week I almost forget my own damn name. Red_Calamity. Also, we are still doing the listener letter portion of the show where you can send in questions, comments, concern, whatever the case may be. You can send it in through the website, or you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com. Today, we are going to do more of a listener interaction since we have AC here with us today. So we're just going to let him address some things. But before that...
Wait. Oh, okay.
Rockstar lifestyle might don't make it. Gucci Mane's out. He out and about. Gucci LaFleur.
Gucci Mane, he lost his gut.
He did. He did. Yeah.
His gut is gone.
Yeah.
Bet that ice cream cone still on that face. So.
Yep.
That's what jail time do to you.
Is he buff up top? Because they work out their upper body and they don't do nothing about their legs.
He ain't really buff. He just lost the belly because you can't drink syrup in prison. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
you can't do
that's
that.
a good weight loss plan. For the syrup.
You either get swole or you get raped. Sometimes both.
Sometimes getting swole leads to getting raped. So I guess it just depends on
he chose the swole route.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as far as we know.
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
As far as we know.
Yeah. He ain't gonna tell us.
Stay out of jail, people.
Yeah.
Not a good place to be.
Basically. But I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Blow here, so that he can address some of the ways in which he's been wronged. And again, I'm doing air quotes, but y'all can't see me.
Okay, first of all, thanks for having me because I really am a big fan of y'all's podcast. I think it's really good. But I think Red has unfairly characterized me in a way that I feel uncomfortable with. This gay thing. Now,
first of all, let's address what he's talking about. On one of the episodes, I don't even remember what the topic was, but I made a reference to a conversation that I had with him about how he would be uncomfortable if he was an athlete in a locker room with somebody that was outwardly gay. And I said, gay people have types. They wouldn't necessarily be trying to jump you in the locker room just because you in there and you got an XY.
Okay, and I never said they would for sure want to jump on me in the locker room. All I said was I would feel a little bit uncomfortable with it. That's all I'm saying. Don't try to make it seem like I think every gay dude out here just want to get with me because you know what I'm saying.
Blow your hot stuff.
I mean, maybe, but you know what I'm saying? I'm not that conceited, but I'm just saying it would make me a little uncomfortable. And I think most guys feel that way. Most straight guys feel that way. I'm not saying that you should treat these gay guys a different type of way, but it's a little weird to me. You know what I mean? If I'm in a locker room with a guy that's gay, I'm not saying I wouldn't get over it, but yeah, I mean, come on now. I mean, I don't know. How you feel about that, Mr. On Point?
I mean, this is what society has given us. For me, it's been a long transition to understanding more about it and becoming more comfortable with it. But I mean, I won't lie and say that if two dudes kiss, it won't take me by surprise. It won't be the same as if a male and a female kiss. Like if two dudes kiss out there, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, they definitely into your PDA, and it's something that's not, culturally acceptable at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
So I did start off saying stuff like that's gay. You know what I'm saying? And then even when I stopped saying it, I thought it and wanted to say it, but had to stop myself. And at some point I even stopped thinking it. You know what I'm saying? And at some point I became confronted with homosexuals at work or in other environments, and then I had to say, how do I feel about this? And I became okay. So it's a transition, but I don't think it happens without effort. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair enough. But I do also think that it's fair enough to say that I have had a hand in opening your mind up a little bit
Red
more.
Can't just wait for the compliment. She got to put it out there before I even get to it. I was finna say that.
I didn't know. I was making sure. I had to make sure it was going to come.
Okay. But yeah, I have, after talking to Red, I have evolved my, the way that I think about homosexuality. I'll definitely give her that. But, still, like, this is the way I feel about it. Like, as far as being friends with somebody that's homosexual, like, I don't know if we could be best friends because a lot of what guys talk about is women. Like, if we friends and I can't talk to you about women, what is we gonna talk about? Like, I mean, because a lot of what we talk about revolves around women. So I can be like, you can be like an acquaintance of mine, but I don't know that we gonna be super friends.
I'm gonna throw you a curveball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw you a curveball. What if you find out your best friend was homosexual?
I've raised that question before to him. Go ahead.
Now, does that compromise the integrity of the friendship now?
It would change the dynamics. It would change it. Now, I'm not saying that we still wouldn't be friends, but I mean, it would definitely change the relationship.
Up until that point, he had been able to talk to you about women because you didn't know he was gay.
But he was lying about it the whole time. I would feel like, my dude, we've been talking about these girls all these years, and you just been making shit up. Like, no, that's not cool, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, if you want to be more comfortable with, because if you're a person that's not comfortable with homosexuals in the locker room, that's a you problem, not a them problem.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the ideas of discomfort are you, because at the end of the day, they might be thinking about damn what they gonna do after they get out the damn locker room. And
true.
You thinking about them being over there thinking about you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So it takes effort to recognize that they just people. They think about the same shit you be thinking about before you leave. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it still take effort. And that don't mean I have been there.
Yeah.
It just have took a lot of effort. A part of it is my profession. Because if somebody come into the office and I'm supposed to see them and they issue is that they gay, I have to know how I stand on that.
Right.
I can't turn them away.
Nope.
That's a license issue.
Ethically, you cannot do that.
So I have to be prepared for whatever comes my way. And that's why I've had to push myself to that, where a lot of people they don't have to deal with homosexuals in that way.
Right.
They don't have to push themselves to that.
And let me be clear, if I was in a locker room with a gay person, I wouldn't just like bust out and start itching and stuff and be like homosexuality is over there. I would just, it'll make me a little uneasy, but I wouldn't act any kind of way towards that person. But yeah, maybe I do need to continue to evolve as far as that's concerned, but that's how I felt about it.
Okay.
Red made it seem like I was just like, I'm irresistible to all gay dudes, believe me. Like, no. That's not the case.
Well, you have to understand that it's one-sided, because you don't get to hear you, or you don't get to hear the conversation that we actually had. So I can only my interpretation of our conversation, but now you've gotten a chance to clear it up.
I've gotten a chance to clear it up. And while we at it,
what I'm
saying? I got one more gripe. Not really a gripe. I just wanted to voice my opinion. I think it was a story Mr. On Point did about Lord Jamar was talking about like white people being in the house.
God.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, guests in the house of hip hop.
Oh my God.
I feel like he is right because, the hip hop was a genre that was created by black people. And I feel like other genres we created like jazz and R&B and the blues, like white people kind of like took that over, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent, especially with jazz, I feel like. And I feel like if we don't look at it like, okay, there are guests in whatever we're doing, eventually, they might get to a point to where they'll take it over again. And, like a lot of genres have been taken over by white people. Like rock and roll is a black musical form. But you wouldn't know it because like most of the artists are white now, and it's pretty much considered to be like a white genre now. So I kind of do feel like they're guests in the house of hip hop. Like Eminem is a guest to me. You know, he does it well, and he represents it well from, I guess, his perspective or whatever. But yeah, it's our art form. The way I feel about it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I understand that perspective. I understood Lil Jamar's perspective, but I think that takes away from how powerful and how strong hip hop is to believe that a white person can come and take over it to the point that we have to regard them as guests in the house of hip hop. You know, I think it takes away from, if you talk about it as a whole, if you talk about white people as a whole, that take away from the individual too, because that individual might not have no intention of taking anything. They might just be a part of something and recognize that they're a part of something that they don't even have no intention of taking over. It's just black people have that dialogue. Black people are like, ain't no white rappers ever came up and said, we taking over this game. We taking over this, you know what I'm saying?
But you could argue that it's already been taken over by white people, because like a lot of these record executives and people behind the scenes, they run the industry to a large extent, you know.
I think it's important to note here that AC is he's a lot more involved in music than we are. Like, you perform music, you're into music a whole lot more than we are. We actually are more listeners. You are more of a creator of music. And I think that's part of where the different perspectives come in too, because I don't create music and I sure don't have your catalog of hip hop, because all this underground shit you be listening to, I don't know what the fuck that is. So, and hip hop is not even my favorite genre. It's probably my least favorite.
Yeah,
that take away from my blackness in it.
But I mean, I get it from both sides. But I just feel like considering it a black art form that white people are guests in, it doesn't make it any less inclusive. Like, we still saying anybody can do it. You know, just respect where it comes from. You know, and just, you know. Like Iggy Azalea, for instance.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
She's like the worst example.
Yeah, she bad. She bad. That was bad, but I understand where
it's
she's
just
the
like,
most potent.
Yes. Right. And it's just like, she's not talented, and she's obviously making herself sound like she's part of the culture from like, well, she's from Atlanta. She makes it sound like she's from Atlanta
and
when
that
she's
bitch
rapping.
is Australian.
Right. And I'm like,
she's not even from the country.
From an Australian white girl perspective. I want to hear that. Like, I don't know what it's like to be a white girl in Australia. I would like to hear from that perspective, but it's like she's put on this pedestal because she's a white female rapper, and it's not many of them there.
She sucks balls. I think she's taken a lot of shit about that too, though, because her career, I mean, at one time she was put on the pedestal. Now people don't really fuck with her.
Yeah, they don't really fuck with her no more.
No, I mean, the majority of people that always fuck with have been white people. Still, Australians.
Yeah,
like she represents Australia, even if she's doing her thing. She's an Australian, so I'm pretty sure she get tons of record sales, tons of support, tons of concerts. From white people.
Yeah.
Can we call Australians white people?
Yeah, they're white.
They're white, I think.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Unless they're Aborigines or something. But yeah, the white people there is white. Yeah.
I guess.
Is everybody that got white skin white, or is American white people white?
Okay, let me tell you something. Listen,
how are we looking at it?
From my perspective, because I have a story about this. My younger brother was dating this girl. Before I met her, he told me that she was mixed. That's cool, whatever. My family's very open. I got nieces that are black and Japanese, and this particular brother has a thing for white girls. So it's cool, whatever. He tells me she's mixed. Now, obviously in my mind, mixed, I'm thinking she's black and something other. Or maybe Jamaican. And so, you know, some completely different things. I meet this heifer, and this little white girl comes bouncing through the door. And I asked my brother, I thought you told me she was mixed. She is. She's got some Irish, and she got some Italian. I said, but nigga, all of that is white. She white. She's a white girl. Don't do that, because I'm thinking some little tan girl's gonna, because she the whitest lily white.
He did that shit on purpose.
Yeah, he did.
And he know me, so he knew I was gonna call him on his shit. Like, this girl is not.
Calling her mixed saved him from a dialogue with you that you had to have until you saw her.
Because she don't consider herself to be mixed. She consider herself to be white, for sure.
She consider herself to be white. And the thing about it is, even like the American, you asked if like just American white people are white, all of them mixed with, because this ain't they shit, obviously. So all of them got Italian, Irish. They all are descended from somewhere else, because this shit ain't there. So I think if I think it's considered white if they're white. Outside of like Aborigine or unless I don't know. I consider if they're white, they're white.
Yeah, I think so. I
don't know. In my head, it's like white are the people that took black folks from their country and made slaves and then created America. Like, if you wasn't a part of that, you can be whatever you from. You could be an Australian if you didn't have if your government didn't have a hand in that. Then, because when I talk about white people taking hip hop, I ain't talking about Australians. I'm talking about the white people that taking everything they've been taking. You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a line of separation?
The technical term for them is Caucasian. Wouldn't she still fall under Caucasian? No.
Yeah. But white people been taking stuff. Caucasians is just, they exist all over the place. Like I always tell people, white and black only exist in America. Like if you go to African, ain't nobody gonna call themselves black. They call themselves whatever culture they come from.
Like in South Africa, where it's like a lot of white people. They call themselves white people though.
Do they?
Yeah.
They not call themselves
South Africa is a different thing. Apartheid created a whole situation in South Africa.
Yeah.
So it is that level of racism there.
Yeah.
But it's probably the same dynamic as it is over here.
That's what I think. I think white people just white people all around the world. That's just how I look at it. But
if they took something,
they
white people.
Okay.
If they got white skin and they took some shit or imposed some rules that subjugated a group,
well, they do that all over the world. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Have blacks ever been to have there ever been black slaves in Australia?
There's not
the
even a lot of
Aborigines people. Like, didn't they have some kind of struggle with them? Like the Aborigines were like native people to Australia, right?
I think so.
And then
don't make me lie.
Look,
I don't know enough about geography and
Yeah.
history combined.
all I'm saying
I
is,
know about history and I know about geography, separate things. If you talk about the history of a geographical location, I'm lost.
I'm just saying, I love like white people is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But they conquer some shit. They conquer stuff all over the world, man. They've been doing that.
So white people gonna be white people.
Yeah.
You missed the conversation last week about if Columbus had actually landed in Asia like he was attempting to do and not here, what the fuck would have happened? Because them dynasties.
Yeah,
they would have had a damn blade at every one of their necks.
Fuck, what are you doing here?
I don't know. They may have got them too. They got the Native Americans, man.
But the Native Americans were such a welcoming people. The
land is ours.
Yeah,
the air is everyone's. The water is all of ours. Come, friend.
They were a lot nicer.
Let's explore.
Yeah.
Than the Asian cultures of that time. I think would have been. They would have been super suspicious and probably would have been lopping off heads.
And that's back when they weren't trying to be westernized. That's back when they was fighting against Westerners.
Yeah.
So they.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Depending on where in Asia,
they'd have fucked them up.
They might have met some samurais. They ain't play that Western shit.
No. They don't play it now.
No. Hell no. They don't. I do want. Did you? Was that? Do you feel,
that was my two gripes.
Do you feel validated now?
Yeah, I feel good about myself now. Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
I do want to mention Harambe again, the gorilla that got killed, only because the gorilla from the zoo that was shot, only because I love my people, but sometimes we go a little bit far. Now, racism absolutely 100% exists, and it's some shit we all have to deal with on a regular basis, and I feel like we have to deal with it enough that we don't need to go looking for it in places that it's not. Now, I've been seeing a whole lot of stories about how, they're just saying that the mom was irresponsible because she's black, and no, the bitch was irresponsible because she was irresponsible. Yeah. I am a black person saying that the bitch was irresponsible, and she's the reason Harambe died.
But let me intervene. Do you know what Fox News did?
What did they do?
Fox News went and looked up the father's criminal record.
These motherfuckers.
Even though he wasn't even there. And implied that he is the blame for that. So I think that dialogue came from Fox News implying that their parenting must be compromised some way for this to happen, and looking into the history of the father.
Fox News ain't shit. Anytime I see a story that starts with Fox News, I go right past that shit because I know it's gonna be some bullshit.
But like, they go and dig up. Yeah, they go and dig up somebody's past when they don't have nothing else to say.
Exactly.
Like they did the same thing with Trayvon, talking about he got caught with marijuana or something.
And they went and found them pictures where he what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
You know, but yeah.
But the stories that I saw was just like, say about the part about her, not them. Of course, that was obviously fucking racist for them to go, and I don't know, they wouldn't have done that had she been white, absolutely. But as far as her being irresponsible simply because she's black and we got a bunch of kids and we don't pay attention, that ain't never crossed my mind when I heard this story. My first thing was, again, I talked about this last week. My mama, no fucking way would this have happened. I could tell you that with absolute certainty because I know this lady, and I've seen her karate chop my brother for trying to walk off in the mall. And ain't no animals in the mall, and she was finna fuck him up in front of everybody. So for walking off, and it was like during Christmas time, kids getting snatched up and shit, she chopped the shit out of him. So yeah. I know for sure in a zoo where there's a lot more danger, and like the parent, I'm not a parent. I have talked to parents about this, and a lot of parents are like, I'm much more hyper focused and hyper aware in like when I take my kids to the zoo, because I know that there's a lot more danger. And like I said last week, the Birmingham Zoo has like a flamingo exhibit where it's just a little fence that separates you from them flamingos and the water that they're standing in. And so if you're not paying attention, little Johnny can absolutely crawl over in there and fuck with them birds. I don't know how flamingos get when they get agitated, but I can imagine little Johnny would get some injuries.
He probably likely to drown before he get to the birds. He get in some purple water.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just crazy, man. Like, you know, your kids shit. Okay, for instance, let me just put it like this. When I went to Disney World as a child, my parents was like, look, we finna go in here, we finna ride these rides, but you gonna stay right here. You don't need to be going anywhere, you know? And I didn't go nowhere, you know? And
you knew they would fuck you up.
Yeah. And then I would see all of these parents with like leashes on their kids and stuff. Like, how you put a leash on your kid? Like, to me, okay, a lot of people think that's cool, but your kid is not a dog. Don't put a leash on your kid. Your kid should just be afraid to get lost or you know, you should talk to your kids and stuff. Don't just act like your kid is some kind of animal that you can't tame and you got a leash on them walking around like.
But what if you have a kid that you can't tame? Should you not did you not take him nowhere?
But how can you not? Is your kid special that he can't understand? Like what is that? I mean.
No, I guess a lot of the times there's this group of parents that don't parent as harshly as they need to for a child to leave their words the way they need them to.
Right.
And so if you've been raising your child for 4 years and not really having that firmness that they understand that you need to listen to me,
right,
and you take them somewhere, you might not know that that's going to happen. So there's a lot of parents out there that just
the leash is required,
in that way.
yeah.
And there's a lot of kids that don't adhere to some of that parenting. And there's some kids that just so exploratory that they get into them situations before they realize.
But should the parents instill that in them before they go to like an amusement park or something like that? That's what I think. Now, if it's some kids that just can't understand that and they got behavioral problems, I guess that's a different thing. But I don't know. It just seems like a lot of these parents are just lazy and they saying, I'm gonna strap this leash to them and
leash don't work all the time. Both of you know who Kingston is.
Yeah.
And the leash don't
Your
really.
terrorist dog.
First of all,
Chinese dictator.
You calling him a Chinese dictator and you calling him a terrorist. You're going to have everybody thinking that my little baby's horrible. He's not. He's himself.
In his past life, he done seen some shit. I don't know what it was, though.
He done been here before, for sure. He got human eyes. He be looking at us. I don't know, man.
Oh, AC Blow is the one that he side-eyed the shit out of.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even do nothing to him. Like, he just, like, turned around and was looking at me like, bitch. Like, damn, man. I try to get along with Kingston, but I gave up now. I gave up.
Yeah, he's special. But I use him as an example all the time for, like, trying to get complete cooperation, because obviously that shit
it ain't gonna work.
I mean, clearly it is off-putting to see a child on a contraption that connects them to their parent. I don't call it a leash. Some device that straps them to their parent, because if your kid might possibly do some dumb shit, that's better than his ass falling in the gorilla pit.
Yeah, it is.
But I still maintain that I blame her, and I still maintain that had this been any other situation in which she was neglectful and the child got hurt, if she had been neglectful and he drank some bleach under the sink, DHR would have been there front and center. Like, how did he get to the bleach? Why was it not put in a safer place? Where were you when he was tossing it back his little cocktail? Like, any other situation in which a parent isn't paying attention and a child gets harmed, there's an investigation. And I don't think this is any different. It turned out better than some of those situations do. And I think that that's thanks to Harambe, bless his soul, his heart, whatever. If you don't believe animals have soul, I don't want to get into that.
The parent can just tell the police that she shot the bleach. And everything is good. No, it's not my fault.
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
But then you look at it from like an animal rights perspective, right? So Harambe was taken from his native land, imprisoned in the zoo, and he was just being a gorilla. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up having to get killed for it. So all of these people, all these PETA people and all these animal rights people, they can miss me with all that we love animals type shit, because they ain't trying to get all of the animals out the zoo and stuff, and you eat chicken and beef and stuff like that. So is a cow's life any less significant than a gorilla's?
Well, the cows are being raised to be eaten.
It don't matter.
All
of them, look, all of them is living creatures. You know, if we eat, look, I don't care. I think we can eat any animal we want to.
I don't want to get into this with you.
We had this discussion.
This motherfucker would eat horse. He would eat whatever.
I would eat the shit out of a horse steak, like for real. Or like, you know, or gorilla burger. I would eat that too. Look, we at the top of the food chain, man. We at the top. It is what it is.
That doesn't mean you should just go around eating everything.
Well, that's my thing. Like, it's animals here that are dumber than us, and it's animals here that'll murder us if we get close to them. I feel like the dumbest animals are supposed to be eaten.
Cows, chickens.
But we befriend so many of them. Like, people always talk about it's cats. You go to the Chinese restaurants, you eat cats and dogs. Well, cat and dog is fucking delicious.
Hey, ain't it though?
If that's what it is. Just because we've befriended them, don't mean they can't be delicious with some seasoning and some sauces.
Exactly.
That's the same argument he gave for eating horse. Don't do that. Don't help him.
Zebra cakes for everybody.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. If y'all Google Aldi meat, if y'all ever shop at Aldi, if you Google Aldi meat, the first thing that come up is horse meat.
Yeah.
Because when I was in there, I was looking at it, I was like, this look weird. Now, I don't know if it's actually horse meat, but the fact that horse meat come up when you Google Aldi meat, that's enough for me not to buy it.
Okay, so the steak I ate that you barbecued.
That is not horse. It didn't come from Aldi.
I have to ask, because last week
I can't say it's cow because I didn't see it cut.
I'm just saying.
But on the package it say beef.
Okay, because after last week and you telling me you putting sugar in the shit I been eating, I feel like I have to ask these questions now.
Listen, they eat horse in other countries too. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather eat like other types of meat than all this genetically modified shit. Give me some natural horse instead of genetically modified chicken. You know,
the only reason I want to eat horse is because they too active. They move too much. They meat gonna be so tough. It's gonna be like you have to do so much stuff to it to make it like tender. See, cows, they don't even move.
You right.
It's like their legs in the bottom part, but the rest of it is just good picking.
Yeah, you right. You right.
Well, I eat cow, but I won't eat a calf. Because it's me.
How would you know?
What kind of sense do that make?
Because it's me.
But when you go to Five Guys, it don't say, would you like the cow burger or the calf burger?
Calf is, what is it, calf? Does it have a different name? Like the younger?
Veal.
It's veal.
It's called
I don't
veal.
eat veal. Because it's baby cow.
That little motherfucker gonna grow up to die anyway.
But let him live his life. Let him graze.
It's tender meat.
Let him graze a little bit before he gets slaughtered. Please let him graze.
Veal is delicious, man. Go to Olive Garden.
I'm not gonna eat veal.
Get the veal marsala.
I'm not gonna eat veal. I'm not gonna eat lamb.
You had that before, Mr. On Point?
I ain't had veal marsala.
Man, it's good, man. Straight
I'm not
up.
eating veal. I ain't eating lamb. Both of y'all have tried to get me to eat lamb.
Ain't
I'm
lamb
not doing
grown?
it.
A lamb is grown.
Yeah.
But they're cute and fluffy. Mary had a little lamb. Fleece is white as snow.
Because they cute. You don't want to eat them because they cute.
Yes.
See, you don't finish off that story though. And then they had pork chops.
That is
Exactly. They did.
I said pork chops. I meant lamb chops.
They did not.
I remember
That is not how that story.
I don't know, man. I think from the Harambe situation, it made me feel like, and I'm supposed to be going to Atlanta Zoo in August. It's going to change my experience. It made me feel like we're not responsible to have these animals.
We not.
We're not responsible enough to have these
No,
animals. Whether
we're
it
not.
was because I think a part of it is the zoo.
Yeah, he
Like,
shouldn't have been able to get in there.
They
like he did.
underestimated their deterrent.
Yeah.
I feel like if you are have an exhibit that a human can get in and the only way to save them is to kill the animal, there be no way that a human can get in there.
Yeah.
No way.
That's true.
And so I think it's enough blame to go around, but at the end of the day, humans got that animal killed. And
Yeah.
it make me feel like we just ain't responsible enough to have them animals
And he was
in the situation they in.
He was an endangered species as well. That was their reasoning for having him in there. Is that he's like a rare silverback some or other. I don't remember what his species is exactly, but he was actually an endangered species as well, which is why it was another reason why it was a big deal that he got killed, because they were getting ready to. They had him some women lined up for him to mate with, make some little gorillas, and this is disgusting. They apparently have his sperm on ice.
They did, yeah.
So they're still going to impregnate these females.
Why's that disgusting?
It's just weird. How do you collect sperm from? Okay, I don't want it. Never mind. Don't answer that.
I mean,
Don't.
Whoever got that job.
Apparently they bust him open and got the sperm from out of him after he died.
No, they already had it on ice. I guess in case some shit happened with him.
Oh, okay.
It was already on ice.
Oh, okay.
How you get? I don't.
How long do gorillas live?
He was like 17 or some
He was
shit.
17.
He
How
was
long do they
old.
live? They
I
got
don't
human
know.
life.
I don't know
Human
how long
years.
they
I think
live.
they live a really long, much longer than like the average animal. Because like Kingston's
I would think
lifespan is
they
like
live
15
as
years.
long as we do.
They're
They
the closest
might.
to us, so
They might.
Because he was at maturity at 17, so he must have had some years to go. Because again, Kingston's lifespan is like 15. Actually, 17 would be good for Kingston. He'd be glad to make it to 17.
Yeah.
So he was just reaching sexual maturity at that age, where he was ready and primed to make some little infants. We were talking last week about we didn't know what baby gorillas were called. They're called infants.
Oh, okay.
They're
Yeah.
like little babies.
Rest
So,
in peace, Harambe.
I know. Y'all need to sit down with these fucking memes though. People are so creative. I saw a obituary for Harambe with Dr. Bishop Mighty Joe Young as the officiant for the ceremony. That shit was so funny. And like all of these memes of like gorillas making these faces like, get the fuck out of here, you gonna get me killed. Don't bring your ass in here.
It's too many, man. I can't even think of none right now.
It's so many.
I know I saw one with the white gorilla saying, would they have shot this gorilla? It was like a great white ape. They were like, would they have shot this gorilla? You know?
Y'all are some creative ass people, because them memes be hilarious.
It's crazy how they make such fun of things that are horrible.
But we do that in our, like, I think in counseling, like most of the counselors that I've met have really like weird and crazy senses of humor, because you kind of have to, because of the shit you deal with. I feel like, so that's the best way to deal sometimes with like a terrible situation, is just kind of to make light of it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was fucking hilarious. All these memes have been hilarious.
Yeah, but speaking
Morbid, that's what I was trying. Morbid sense of humor.
of, like how you were saying, like people have jobs that make them kind of insensitive to certain stuff. Like I dated a nurse one time, well, a couple times. But when they talk about death, they just be like, that shit is normal. They be like, yeah, like I would call her and she'd be at work and I'd be like, so what you up to? How your night going? And she'll be like, well, we got this patient in here that's not doing too good. I think he probably finna die. And I was like, damn, that's horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she was just like, oh my bad. But we deal with this every night. So it's just like, it just happens, So
Be like, I forgot my lunch at home. My phone almost went dead. I need a charger. A patient died.
Right, exactly. Like,
I have a request, and I'm gonna make it on air, so it makes it harder for you to say no, AC, because I think we should do an episode of like horrible date stories, because what I tell you, he's been on some of the most horrible dates of life. Like, I don't know. So he has to come back at some point and do the horrible date stories. Like you won't even believe him. Like, this is how, if I wasn't like around at the time that they were going on, I would think he was bullshitting. Like, it's fucking hilarious.
only if the listeners ask for it, because I don't really want to put that out there. You know what I'm
So
saying?
now y'all right here, get on Facebook, because I'm telling y'all want to hear this shit. I'm talking about vehicular homicide,
No,
y'all.
wait, you can't just.
Because I want them. I want them to know the depth of this. Like, y'all got right in, please, so that we can make him come
Okay,
back
if people write in, I'll do it.
to do these stories. I promise you, no date you've ever been on has been worse than the dates that he's been on. Like,
Red just put me on blast on the podcast.
Well, because then I knew if I had asked you off air, you'd have just told my ass no. So
Gotta put the pressure on.
gotta put the pressure on him.
All right. Seen the story about this. So it's a 13-year-old kid.
Oh shit.
Well, it's a teacher. I don't know how old she is. 8th grade
Too
teacher.
fucking old.
8th grade teacher that was having a sexual relationship with her student. And I'm like an ongoing sexual relationship. Like,
Man.
for almost 8 months, sex almost every day.
Well, he's 13, so I'm sure that was. So here's the thing. Where does she have to be in life and in her mental health where you're, one, attracted to this 13-year-old, and two, not only act on this shit, but you carry on a long-term affair with this 13-year-old child, because that's exactly what he is. Where are you at in life where you do that? Like, I don't anytime I hear these stories about teachers fucking kids, I'm like, why? What? Please explain to me how this happened. Like, explain to me. You were sitting in the front of the classroom teaching them geography, and he just, what? I don't understand.
She was saying that he was harmlessly flirting with her
He 13.
in the class, and then at a certain point, he missed the class, and so she sent him a message through Instagram asking was he okay. He asked for her phone number. They started talking, and then from there, they got into a physical relationship.
Should go down in the DM, man. For real. Yeah. But see, yeah, I mean, from the perspective of the teacher, yeah, you grown. What you looking at kids like that for? But let's look at the bright side of this.
Don't do that. I know where you're going with this.
Thing about it is this. When I was in 10th, 11th grade, I wanted to fuck the shit out of my Spanish teacher. I'm just going to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? She was fine. So if you the little boy, you the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And so let's get into this double standard shit, because if the teacher was a man and the student was a little girl, a 13-year-old girl, she would not be the shit. She'd be this, the victim. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he did this to this poor innocent child.
Right.
It would be looked at differently. Both of them are kids. He ain't no better off. This is gonna fuck with him. Like, could you imagine if you had fucked your teacher at that age? Where you would be? Like, how that would have affected you?
You right. That wouldn't have been the best thing.
You would have enjoyed it at the time.
I would have enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed it. Like,
It's like I said, the double standard does exist, but I think it's under a different set of conditioning. Women have been conditioned to keep their sexuality as a prize and as something to deliver later.
Which makes no sense. Go ahead with the other part of this.
Men have been conditioned to use their tools.
On who?
Conquer.
On who? If
go.
the women. On
the
who?
world.
Who are you supposed to use it on if the women are supposed to be keeping it to themselves? Who?
I don't know. Maybe this was created. Maybe that conquest was created like a Tomb Raider game, just to be hard as hell for no damn reason. You know, like, look, first we're going to say that men got to conquer all women, but then we going to condition women to hold it in. So we got a challenge ahead of us.
Just make y'all have to work harder and become con artists and liars so that you
The
can
thing is,
get past that.
I got in a dialogue with somebody about the trauma that comes from that. And I think that trauma is related to the experience of the individual. If a male was forced against his will and didn't want to, that being forced and losing that power is what would create that trauma for him. So if that happens to a woman, that's what creates the depth of the trauma. That loss of control, that loss of self, that diminishes your self-worth because you don't have that control. If you're a person that's 13 and you believe you desire this thing and you do this thing and it's actually pleasurable and enjoyable, I think that takes away from the depth of the possible trauma, if it even exists. I think in that case, it may not exist for a young boy that's been conditioned that this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're going to do, other people have done it. Because at the end of the day, what if he already lost his virginity to somebody? What if he already been sexually active?
At 13, that just saddens me. And it is possible. It's absolutely 100% possible, unfortunately.
But that's the residuals of that conditioning as to where greater society and every grown person gonna look at it and say, you've been preyed upon. But the 13-year-old be like, shit, she was preyed upon, my man.
Exactly. Yeah.
But ain't nobody gonna listen to that 13-year-old because we invalidate them because they stupid.
Yes, they are.
So you saying this little boy, he probably gonna be fine, right? I mean, he wasn't. The woman didn't force herself upon him, right? Like he was willing and
it seems that way.
Yeah.
It depends on him.
So with the same situation, would a girl be negatively impacted if she also wasn't forced upon by the male teacher and had a crush on him and just pursued him and started wearing little skirts and seduced him? Would she have any negative impacts from it if she wasn't preyed upon?
I think that it's a larger percentage of women in that same situation that's going to be impacted than men because they aren't conditioned to think that that's something that they're supposed to achieve. They always conditioned to know that it's wrong. They always conditioned to believe that that thing is something they're not supposed to do and they're not supposed to have, and men are not supposed to do this to women. No message in society has ever said you as a woman should go after that man if you like him. But they've always said that to men and boys.
That's true.
Society's fucked.
It is fucked. And I'm not saying that it ain't wrong. I'm just saying I understand how men can look at it and say, good job, young man. You know, instead of, damn, you might experience some trauma. Because I actually know some dudes that had those experiences when they were young, but it wasn't under that context. But you think because you're a man and it's a good feeling, it's not. But the loss of power, not being able to control it, not having, you know, your own sense of self in that decision. If somebody older than you is taking advantage of you when you're not ready, that's what creates the trauma. And I think that's what creates the depth of the trauma. So even if a girl is ready versus a boy is ready, first there's two conflicting messages in society for those two different groups. You know, and then the amount of trouble that the man can get in, you know, it's just more pressure on a female in that situation than a male.
I hate being a female in this fuck ass society. Let me just say that. I do.
Misogyny.
And I've been dealing with that my entire life, coming from a family that has 3 boys and then me. And just even coming back from Memorial Day, I had to make like fucking 40 phone calls because everybody gets all in their feelings if I don't call to say I'm off the road. Like I literally was on I made it back. I mean, like nobody does that shit with my brothers. And I've said this time and time again, God love them, but my brothers are idiots. And if anybody was gonna get lost or some shit, it would be them. It wouldn't be
That's
me.
something that happened to you in your childhood that you don't know about. Something that happened to you in your childhood that ain't nobody told you that you almost, like you fell in a gorilla pit when you were 3 and you don't remember.
Well, my uncle did drop me when I was younger. Shut up. No joke.
I wasn't going to say anything.
He did
but
drop me.
It explains a lot, though. You know?
I was dropped.
If he dropped you and it caused some damage, you must went from genius level to above average. Like, damn. How you get dropped to still be better than normal?
I don't think there was damage. Let's hope not. But it's just a story. I mean, we were making fun of him about that when I was up for Memorial Day because he's getting married, and we told his fiance that he dropped. She was like, "Oh my God, you dropped her." He was like, "I don't recall that incident." But yeah, it just sucks being female. Like,
well, it's one area that it doesn't suck to be in a female, be a female in. Well, it's a lot of them, but this one in particular. Okay, so Derek Fisher divorced his wife, right? I don't know if y'all heard about this.
Yeah, I did.
And so she's gonna get $109,000 a month from him
every month,
plus $15,000 for child support. You know, so they're saying she was with him for 10 years, so I guess she's entitled to some of the money or something. But I'm like, man, that much money though, like $109,000. Like I think it come out to be like $1.3 million a year or something like that.
Fuck.
What was she doing? What was her job?
She was the housewife. She was taking care of the kids, you know. And I'm not saying she shouldn't get anything, right? Because you can't just divorce somebody and then just put them out in the street or whatever. But I mean, $109,000 plus $15,000 for childcare. $15,000 for childcare a month. A month. Like, come on, man. Like that's ridiculous. I think, you know.
Well, yeah, it is. But I mean, there have been instances. Halle Berry had to pay the little white boy. What's his? Gabriel, the little model that she had her baby with, her first baby. Right. She ended up having to pay him a crazy amount of money. It doesn't happen as often, though. You're right.
Yeah, it's a ratio, but that comes with a male-dominated society. Because all the male athletes get paid. WNBA getting paid.
That shit still
McDonald's
exist?
manager salaries.
Still doing that?
Yeah,
they don't get
so
paid.
it's just not many. So when you talk about sports, you got some tennis players that's making good money. That's
Serena.
female. You got Danica Patrick. That's a racer that's making good money. And a couple of female golfers that's making good money. But outside of that, the whole NBA, the whole NFL, you got hockey. Like they get all kinds of money. So the reason is because the only field that you can really have them situations is in acting. That's pretty much it. And so, but they have an algorithm for that. Like, if you provide a person a certain standard of living, they got to be able to maintain that after you. If your choice is to divorce.
But why is that your responsibility, though? That's because, if we're not together anymore and it's like a mutual type of thing.
That was like a perk of being with me. I've never understood you have to keep this same lifestyle because we ain't together no more. We ain't together no more.
Right.
So it's like, I think that absolutely you should have to take care of the kids because, that the kids are still yours. The kids don't go away because you divorced. But this whole, you got to keep this same lifestyle, that's some bullshit. Like, because that's one of the things that happens when you get with somebody is that it's supposed to. That's the whole purpose of getting married is because it makes shit better in your life. When you divorce, it shouldn't be the same. Like, it shouldn't stay exactly the same. There should be a difference outside of just we ain't together no more.
Right. I think the way they should do it is like, okay, if I divorced my wife and she was a housewife and she was taking care of the kids, we get a divorce, then I might give her some assistance until she gets her job situation straight. I'm gonna pay child support regardless, but I'm gonna give her some assistance till she gets a job, and then she gotta sustain herself after that. I can't pay you $109,000 every month for the rest of your life. Is that what it is? I don't know if it's the rest of your life or what.
When does alimony end? I don't know when, because here's the thing. What happens when you want to get married again?
Right.
I think it's a matter of protection. Because if a dude out here that makes six figures divorce his wife because he was doing a bunch of stuff on the side and they don't hold him responsible for something taking care of her, she gonna be homeless tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because he might be a fuckboy.
Because he had the house.
Yeah.
He had her being a housewife for 30 years. She don't have no skills. She didn't finish school because she was with him. Like,
I didn't think about that.
I just think that this can go wrong in a lot of ways. It's not many marriages that end in a cordial situation.
Right.
And if you don't hold men to a standard or women to a standard, if in the case that it happens with women, of saying, you kind of help this person have this kind of lifestyle, and we're not just going to let you put them out there homeless where they got to go to a shelter because you so petty, you done took the house, you done took all the cars, and she ain't got no skills and she ain't never done nothing. So a part of it is protection. But I think the unfortunate part of it is that I think it's rooted in our Christian nation. I think it's rooted in the idea that you're supposed to stay married together forever anyway. So you got to pay the price.
This your punishment.
For divorce.
So it's to discourage people from getting divorced.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it may be.
Well, and it does discourage people from getting divorced, or it encourages them. Or
oh man,
I was just gonna say, or it encourages them to murder them.
Yeah.
Like, it's easier for me to just get rid of your ass.
One of them month payments is all it takes
to get you out.
on the webs.
Yeah,
you go to the dark net and you can find some assassins.
Who was it? Star Jones? What was that situation where they was like gonna have a baby through a surrogate, but then they got divorced and she still ended up having to pay child support for the child? Was it Star Jones?
Yeah, it was Star Jones because she wanted to have a baby with this dude. They had a surrogate that had a baby. The baby was had. Their relationship went south, and she said, "Well, it ain't my child, so I ain't responsible for
That's
it.
kind of fucked
I'm not
up
responsible
story.
for that child. I don't want the child, and I'm not responsible for child support."
Well, it's not her child because she didn't physically have the child.
That was her argument.
But it still had her DNA though, right? Like, is that how that works?
No,
Sometimes
I don't think.
Depends.
I don't think it was his DNA.
Yeah,
I think it was like somebody else had the baby and they signed all the papers and did everything it takes to get the child.
Some surrogates,
but then changed their mind.
Some surrogates they do an implantation of the woman's eggs into her with his sperm so that the kid is genetically linked to both of them.
Right.
I don't think that happened in this situation. I think they just used his sperm to get the surrogate pregnant, and then so the child had hurt the surrogate.
It really ain't her kid then.
But you pursued this.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
You created this situation and you the rich one.
You know what I'm saying? gotta pay child support for this child till they're 18. It's just, and I forgot how much she ended up having to pay. Or did they ever? I don't know if I stopped following this shit. I don't know if they announced like how much the monthly payment was, but I do think they ended up making her pay child support for the child because you wanted the child at the time. I mean, that's no different than somebody who decides to get pregnant and have a child and then the shit don't work. It's the same thing. You made a decision to have a child, regardless of the methods.
I don't think we can universally look at $109,000 and say that's overboard because we don't know how much he got in his bank account for real. Like, if they done said, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the judge.
Derek Fisher. He don't even have a job right now. I think he was coaching, but he got let go from whatever team he was coaching.
He's an analyst right now.
Is he?
He an analyst right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, he got a job. It ain't NBA money.
Yeah,
but it's gonna pay that. It's gonna pay for that. It's gonna pay for that her stuff.
Oh man.
Damn.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Divorce is hard.
But it might be karma for him for getting with what's his name's wife, Matt Barnes' wife.
It might be
ex-wife or whatever.
The karma for real. Karma's real. Sometimes it take a little bit longer. Folks be thinking they done got away with shit, then bam.
Exactly.
$109,000.
Look, karma can happen right immediately after, or that shit can happen
20 years later.
Yeah. You never know. Just don't do crazy shit.
Yeah.
Basically. Essentially. Meek Mills is still losing other than having Nicki. I know that's like his one thing now. He got to hold on to her with everything because now they've extended his house arrest because he didn't do the right community service. Like he was supposed to pick from this specific set and he went and did his own thing. And so they extended it. I think it was only like 8 days. It wasn't a ton of time, but still. I know he was ready to get out of the house.
He better hurry up and get Nicki Minaj pregnant.
Nicki ain't finna do that.
If she did get pregnant, I think she would still send his ass on if she needed to.
I think so too.
She can do that shit.
And she would have a baby with her because, you know.
Meek Mill just need to take a break. He just need to stop making music for like a year, let things just cool out for a minute, get his life together, then come on back.
Sensitive thug ass.
Yeah, he just been going through too much, man. Drake killed him. I think he came out with an EP like last month that nobody cared about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Meek. I think I've said this before. I've never been a Meek Mill fan. I don't like to be screamed and hollered at. You know what I'm saying? I listen to a wide genre of music, but I don't even listen to hard rock because I don't like that screaming shit. Don't holler at me. I don't want to hear that in my headphones or through my speakers or whatever the case may be. I ain't like Meek because all he did was holler all his songs. He was just screaming, "I'm a boss." It was too much.
Yeah, I'm not a Meek fan.
He was different when he was doing them freestyles out on the street and them street battles, man.
Oh, yeah, had the ashy braids in the street.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Are y'all gonna have a battle rap conversation now? Because I'm just gonna
say that's just what confused me about his inability to communicate back with Drake. He was roasting people out there on them battles. And he can't even come up with an appropriate response for Drake that's worth a damn.
I don't even remember his response, honestly.
I mean, I heard the response, but he wasn't saying nothing. It was just like he was hollering and you couldn't like quite get the lyrics and stuff. I mean, I don't know what was going on, you know. But yeah, Drake killed him. And it was nothing he could do about that situation. I mean.
And he started the situation. Like, you brought this upon yourself. Twitter fingers. Your trigger fingers turn into Twitter fingers. Yeah. It's too much.
Now, I'm not mad at him for putting Drake on blast for not writing his own shit. Because I think if you a real MC, you supposed to be writing your own lyrics.
But no, didn't it start because he felt like Drake was supposed to be promoting his shit for him?
Right. And then he put it out there like this Quentin, whatever this guy's name was writing lyrics for Drake.
Okay, so that's just petty though. My problem is the reason why you expose him for this is because you butthurt because he ain't promoting your shit. Like, why would he? Because y'all friends? Like, this is music. Like, that's just...
he shouldn't have got that mad about that.
But I also don't see a problem with the writing.
Right.
I don't see a problem with it. And I mean, that's a split in hip hop right now because this dialogue has emerged about
whether or not people right now.
Because I think KRS-One was saying something like, you think if Big Daddy Kane didn't come to me with a rap that he wrote thinking that it would be perfect for me, that I wouldn't do that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, did he do verses or was it like a hook that he took from? Because especially with them old school rappers, they real particular about like writing their own verses. they might get a hook from somebody, but I don't know, man. I just feel like if your aim is to make hits, and you consider yourself just to be an entertainer, you don't really take the craft that seriously, then okay, cool, you can let somebody else help you with your writing. But if you like really in it for the art, because it would be like Maya Angelou getting some other poet to like write some lines in her poetry. You know what I'm saying? People be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And that's because I look at rap, like real rappers, like they're modern day poets. You know what I'm saying? But if you just an entertainer, then I guess it is what it is. You know.
I won't get into that conversation about poetry and rap. I think we've had that one before too. Have we not? Or was it you? Who did I have that
conversation with? Do you not consider
with?
Rappers?
I don't want to do that.
No, it's absolutely do it.
No,
yeah, you don't consider.
I think it's different.
I think it's all the same.
I think it's the same too.
Country, I think all the song, everything that's written is rooted in the same core set of emotions and things that all people experience. I think your way of portraying that thing is the same. It's all the same. It's just your way of relaying it.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. But for some reason, with rap in particular, like I look at them more so like poets because they're like speaking, like spoken word poets. Like it's like you're speaking your art, you know. And with singers, like for instance Whitney Houston, she never wrote any of her songs, but she was so good at performing it. It was like, I think people just gravitated more so towards the perform, like in R&B in general. I think people gravitate towards the performance a little bit more than the lyrics to me, because when you're singing, you can sing something that might not be particularly profound, but you put some little vocal runs in there and stuff and like make it sound really like impactful. People be like, wow, I really like this song, you know what I mean? So the lyrics might not mean as much, but when rap, to me the lyrics mean a lot. And I'm kind of like a hip-hop purist and stuff. I realize I'm in the minority, but you know, that's just how I feel about it.
He sit around watching battle rap. That's
so does that mean that there is no room for those that are rappers that can perform well, and people have said, I know you can perform this well, you know, put your flair on? Is there no room for those?
No, it's room for that. I just feel like it's unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? It's because like you got these rappers, like the real lyricists are few and far in between. Like you have a few more now with like Cole and Kendrick and, you know, I guess to a certain extent Wale and them. But you know,
Wale would disagree with that. He should have been the first name.
Yeah, I'm so tired of hearing him whine about. I mean, they just don't understand me. All this stuff. He's starting to sound like Kanye for real. Like, but yeah, I just wish it was more of a balance. But it's room for everybody to do what they do. You know, it just needs to be more balance. Yeah,
just get to have your own perspective on these kind of instances where Mills is being critical of having writers and Drake have writers, and
yeah,
he got them writers to roast your ass, boy.
Right. But I think Drake wrote that diss though, because he was spitting that with some passion. I was like, damn.
He went into the studio. Now everybody clear out.
Yeah,
I got it.
I got a point to prove on this one.
Yeah. I want y'all to watch me from the outside, so I got evidence.
Since we're talking about music, although this isn't music, it's about an artist. Alicia Keys and her whole no makeup. I'm gonna try not to get loud. Okay, so she's, for this album that she's putting out, and let me just say, I have not enjoyed an Alicia Keys album in a while. No shade. I don't really particularly care for her voice. And that On Fire song, I wanted to punch people in the face when I heard that, because she was just screaming. On fire, like, I hated that fucking song. I hated being in the car and rolling up by somebody that was playing that shit. I would speed. Get the fuck away from them.
Something about Alicia Keys, after she got with Swizz Beatz, it made me feel like all the songs I've been hearing was about him. And I don't like that. And so it just, Swizz Beatz took all the Alicia Keys flair away from me. I love the first album. She would have played the piano.
Yeah.
But then now that I realized that Swizz is who you was looking for from all that shit, no, I don't fuck with you now.
But this new album, which I don't even know what the name of it is, but she's doing this whole no makeup where she said she's not gonna wear makeup none of the videos, but she's gonna be open and she's gonna be herself, and she's not gonna hide and cover up. And the implication to that is that people who do wear makeup are hiding and are covering up, and so some people have a problem with that. I just want to say to all of y'all with these, it's like with natural hair, the natural hair Nazis who feel like you have to, again, you don't dye your hair, you got to put only the freshest of juices and berries and water from the Serengeti and just completely natural in order for your hair to be natural. It's the same situation with makeup. You have people that are way over here that are like, people who wear makeup are insecure and they don't want to be themselves and they're scared and da-da-da-da-da. Like, can people live? Just let folks live. If somebody wants to put makeup on their face, sure. Alicia Keys has the funds in order to make sure that her skin looks nice enough to where she's not going to scare nobody if she take her makeup off. Not everybody has that luxury. I think you use Cheryl Underwood as an example.
Cheryl Underwood is an ugly man. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? She really is. At the end of the day. And look, don't all the women out there that wear makeup because you do look like an ugly man, do not let Alicia Keys tell you not to wear makeup. Please, just keep on wearing makeup because the world don't need that. You know what I'm saying? We really don't, man. It's too much.
I feel like anything that people do that's not harmful to them, that makes them feel better about themselves, I'm for it. Plastic surgery. I personally don't have anything on my body that I would like get surgically enhanced or alter. I've been trying to gain weight because I feel like I'm too thin, but outside of that, like, there's nothing that I would want to go to a surgeon and get done. But I'm not going to look down upon somebody who feels like their nose is too big or their lips are too thin or whatever the fuck. Like, if that's what you need to do to feel better about you, cool. Now, I do have a problem with y'all who out here putting all of this random shit in your ass so that you can have a K. Michelle type ass fix or flat and all of this bullshit. Again, I don't have a problem with you doing things that make you feel better about yourself that are not harmful. So, if somebody wants to cake on a bunch of makeup on their face every fucking day, cool, girl, do you. Now, I'm not going to do that. I do wear makeup, but I'm not going to get up every day and cake on a full face to go throw the trash away. I'm not going to do that. That's a little much for me. But for somebody who does that, whatever, live your life. I feel like we just be too involved in other people's shit. And the conversation that has come from the Alicia Keys making that announcement has been very polarized. Like, it's either yay makeup or no makeup for anyone. And it's like, come on, like, let people live. Can they live?
I mean, I feel like it should be a charge for women that go to the club with like their face painted on, and then you take them out of the club, and then y'all go back to her place. She take off her makeup, and she look like Dennis Rodman. It should be a charge for that. Like,
but see, you're delivering two different messages. The first message is, hey, you need that shit. The second message is, but not in the club.
It should be a limit though. We gotta regulate this. You can't look like a whole nother person.
Yeah,
like,
I think. So, okay, I will say again, whatever it takes to make you feel better about yourself. But some people do go like, makeup is like amazing. Okay, you can literally change the shape of your face, the shape of your nose. You can paint on. There are makeup artists that like do videos on YouTube where they make themselves look like different celebrities. And they look exactly like, and all it is makeup on their face. Like, they literally just wipe it off and they look like themselves again. So, I do feel a little sorry for guys, because
it's hard.
You don't know what you're getting sometimes. I do think it's important to be honest with the person that you're with. You don't want to terrify somebody.
So what you want is for them to be like, listen, I know I look a certain way right now, but I look like Charles Barkley for real.
Yes.
So, are you okay with this situation?
Maybe not that far.
They gotta disclose that. And they gotta say it just like that too. I look like Charles Barkley. I need all the information I can get, man.
Maybe not quite that far. But like I said, I do wear makeup, but I don't think anybody, I think both of y'all have seen me without my makeup. I don't think anybody that's seen me with and without is like, shit, I didn't know that was red. My God. Like, I essentially look the same. I have some dark areas on my face that I don't like. So that's why I use, not concealer, foundation to even out the tone of my face. But the shape of my face is exactly the same. Like, it isn't going to be like a huge difference. So you're not going to wake up and be like, who the fuck is this?
Right.
Like, that ain't going to happen. So, again, I feel like people should do whatever makes them feel better, but I do feel sorry for men sometimes because y'all don't know what you get. I always know for the most part what I'm getting. Y'all look like what you look like, so
yeah,
I know what that is.
Except a dude with a hat on, and then it looked like he
don't fuck fucking
rolled up
hats,
pubic hairs on the top of your on the top of your head.
and hats transform faces too, because I think I've talked about this before. I've done a lot of online dating, and just if you see like the profile picture may be a picture with them with a hat on, and you be like, oh, he cute, and then you go into the profile and be scrolling through and get to the picture without the hat, and you're like, what the fuck happened to your face? I don't know what hats do for y'all faces, but it does something to where you don't look as bad as you might actually look, and then you take the hat off and it's like, whoa, put that back on.
Some people be trying to hide their hairline, you know, like when you have their hairline. Because I ain't no front.
Both of y'all are bald. I really think that y'all need to do a PSA for these people who won't let go. That like you look, man. Or like dreads are the worst. Like it's bad enough when your hairline's receding and you got like a low cut, but when your hairline is receding with dreads, it looks. And I think both of y'all. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had dreads too. I had dreads too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, both of y'all had dreads.
I told my mama. I said, "Look, mama, this is because she ain't never liked my dreads. Look, mama, I got is 2 dreads at the front that's standing. Clearly, one of them gonna fall out. When it fall out, getting a haircut that hour.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know when it fell out of where. Never found it at home. Never found it in my car. Never found it at work. Don't know what the fuck happened to it. But when I realized it was gone, went and got a haircut that hour.
Yeah. I mean, it was the same way for me. I saw mine thinning in the front, and I just woke up one morning. I was like, it's time. And so I went to the barbershop and just told him to cut it off, you know. And I got it cut like a low even cut at first, but then like a couple weeks after that, I was like, I might as well just go ahead and shave it off, you know. I mean,
y'all need to do a PSA about how to let go, because I think some of the people, even on the dating website, I've showed you some of these pictures of some of these men with like horrible receding hairlines with dreads, and it's like, dude, like. Why would you?
But now they got hairline in the can to where you can just get it like sprayed on your head. Have you seen this?
I seen that.
That shit. But you talk about that because they put it on their face too to fill in their beard.
Some stuff that I saw that kind of looked natural though. It didn't really look shiny like that.
I saw a barber using that stuff and the haircut at the end looked great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Looked like he ain't never have no issues.
Yeah. Well, see, now women gonna have the same issues.
Well, y'all just gonna have to deal with it. We had to deal with it. We know how to deal with it.
You get up in the morning and this nigga hairline didn't recede.
Hairline on your pillow.
What is this black shit on my pillow, nigga? What is this?
Oh, man.
Look, Alicia Keys is one of those traditionally attractive people.
Yeah, she's just pretty.
In general. She's just pretty, you know. So, but she still got some shit on her face. Like, that proactive shit, like,
she didn't do nothing. She was a sponsor for
She got a little bit of acne on there. You know what I'm saying?
She look like a high school student.
A little bit.
She really does. Like, she looks a lot younger.
I mean, that don't take away from her attractiveness.
Yeah, she's still fine. But.
You know, but some people don't have that traditional.
No, they do not.
That traditional beauty type situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that is true.
Cause Sheryl Underwood, man, I hate to quit. I hate to keep harping on Sheryl Underwood, but damn. At the end of the day, them some thick ass gums. You gotta like.
She got a horse mouth. She does.
But she funny though. She funny. She's a great comedian.
She is funny. But she has a horse mouth for sure.
Okay.
She definitely does.
I'm done with Sheryl Underwood. Okay.
That's all I wanted to say about that is that just let people live. If you're the kind of person who don't want to wear makeup or you don't feel like you need makeup, all right, don't put it on your face. Nobody is telling you to go to the MAC counter and buy, $1,000 worth of makeup because it's expensive as shit. Nobody's telling you to do that, but don't cast judgment on somebody that is wearing the makeup. It ain't your face. Yeah. So what you care? It's the same way I feel like this ain't your hair. So yes, my hair is red. The fuck out of here.
Well, I like to say, rest in peace to Muhammad Ali. That was
fuck 2016, man. Prince, Muhammad Ali, just everybody dying.
We losing a lot of legends, man.
We are, and we ain't got nobody stepping up to. It's just sad.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Do y'all boxing? You a boxing fan?
Yeah, I watch boxing.
You know good and damn well I'm not.
I ain't never fuck with boxing. I mean, I fuck with them clips on Facebook where they put a clip and be like, oh, let me see, because this is gonna be some real shit right here. But the thing that I know about Muhammad Ali is just his activism in the African American community. You know what I'm saying? Like, just listening to his early interviews was amazing. But he had a fight that they told him he shouldn't fight. After that fight, you could tell that he was damaged.
Yeah.
Like, cause I saw the interview and it was hard to watch. Like, cause I was watching a bunch of them. Cause I don't remember the name of the dude, but it's a white dude, and it had to be an all white audience. Maybe some black folks in there, but all they was talking about was race for the most part, you know. And one thing I remember, he was like, all white people aren't racist, you know. It's not every white person. Like that was the dude was saying that Muhammad Ali was like, if it was a million snakes outside of my house, and I knew 1,000 of the snakes was good, should I should I open the door for those 1,000 so that whole million come in? You know what I'm saying? And so he just always used to give analogies like that to understand racism. And he even got exiled, not exiled, but what is it called? It might be exiled from boxing.
I think he did.
I think the term is exiled because he wasn't registered to go to the war.
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah.
He said, you know, something along the lines of, ain't no Vietnamese ever called me a nigga. You know, ain't no Vietnamese ever did this and all that and all that.
Yeah.
You know, my battle is over here on this side. He's taking me to jail. You know, and they took him to jail.
Yeah, and they took his titles. They took his titles, and he couldn't fight for four years. Yeah.
Came back and whooped everybody's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for the sake of the African American community, man, if you haven't seen Muhammad Ali's old interviews, not about boxing. I mean, boxing be intertwined in it. Y'all need to go watch Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
You know, in these situations.
That is a shame. It's a loss.
Well, just a sidebar about that. Like, so back in the day when he was big into his activism and stuff, and you know, he was making those sacrifices for black people, like I feel like he knew that he could fall back on the community for him to make that stand. He knew his people was gonna take care of him because there was a lot of celebrities and stuff that took care of his family while he was going through that whole thing. And I just wonder, like, if that was to happen today, like let's just say like LeBron started being an activist, and would people be able to
step up and help
him out? I don't know if we would do that. You know, I would like to think we would, but
I don't think that activist has emerged yet. I don't think that have y'all ever heard of zeitgeist theory?
I heard of it. I never.
Zeitgeist theory. Zeitgeist means spirit of the times. The theory kind of proposes that whatever needs to happen at a certain time in the development of the culture or the world is gonna happen. For example, the times called for Martin Luther King to be what he was. And if it wasn't Martin Luther King Jr., it would have been somebody else. It would have been, the times called for somebody to be that.
Yeah. Right.
The same way as when Albert Einstein was creating the theory of relativity, somebody overseas that had no contact with him was creating the exact same theory. That time in science and in development and advancements that we had was calling for those people to have those things. You know what that was not called. I think our times now are calling for somebody to be the kind of activist that the black community can get behind. Umar Johnson want to be that, but he is not. And I think that because Umar Johnson, all of us, we grew up in a time where racism was silent and where white people got away with a lot of stuff, and they could tell us to be quiet and we were quiet. Well, we got kids now that's growing up watching Ferguson, Baltimore, watching black people die, watching people their own age dying. This is creating a new age of activists. And I think that the activists that we will support is out there. Either our age or older that hadn't been able to get their message out.
Right.
Or they a young person that's 10 or 11 right now that in 10 years, they're going to be somebody that we going to say, we can put our money behind this person.
Yeah.
I will donate. I will give it to them. They not here yet. So I just don't think there's nobody with potent enough message for black people to put you know, their efforts and their money to it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because as soon as somebody come out with that message and do it, I'm gonna be behind them.
Yeah,
I will too.
But it ain't Umar Johnson. It ain't Al Sharpton. It ain't Jesse Jackson.
Oh God.
It ain't none of them. I mean, it ain't President Obama because of the position that he got in to enact change. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's somebody.
Well, I mean, I kind of like Umar. Why you say you don't think it's Umar? Like,
I don't like Umar Johnson.
You don't like him?
I don't like Umar Johnson. I like his passion.
Yeah.
I like his. I feel like he gives you a present. I think he gives you a present with how he communicated with what he want to accomplish. But I think when you open it, it's shit inside of it. I just don't think it's genuine. I don't think I think it's more for self some kind of self-indulgence rather than actual community indulgence.
Right.
Because it's a video where he's talking about, because he wanted that school.
Right.
And black people didn't donate enough money to his standards. And he was just talking shit about black people. Like, how can you open your mouth to talk shit about the black community for not giving you money that you wanted for this situation when your whole overall message is you want support for the black community and for this school,
Right.
So it's just these little instances where he get caught up. Like, I was in a dialogue about him with a dude the other day, and he was saying, look, I was like, why he always talking bad about homosexuality? Why is that always a big dialogue? And he said, it's not his dialogue, it's just that how he communicated about it so divisive that people always pull him into that. You know what I'm saying? And I gave him that. I said, okay, I'm going to put the homosexuality aside from that he talk about. I'm going to put because another thing he do is in our profession, he's a school psychologist.
Oh, okay.
And he uses our profession with some of these ideals he have about childless or fatherless children, about ADHD, about homosexuality. He say his opinions, and then he put out there that I'm a school psychologist, and it connected to our profession,
which you're never supposed to.
Yeah, so that's why and that's the stuff he say ain't agreed upon like the way he say it in our profession.
Okay,
and so that's what's off-putting to me because he's not being responsible with the profession. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
because it lends some professional, like it would make people take it more seriously if you say, "Oh, this has been you know what I'm saying?" So yeah, I could see why that
it was the same way on the Breakfast Club because DJ Envy, he told DJ Envy said, them teachers told my son he had ADHD, but all I did was gave him some good discipline, which we don't know what that means. He might have beat him within an inch of his life. And Umar Johnson pretty much said, yeah, that's what more of these boys need. When sometimes that's not what they need. Sometimes they don't need it that way, and sometimes it is ADHD. He made it seem as if ADHD ain't a thing. So,
which is very dangerous because there's a whole stigma in the black community about mental health as it is, and about now ADHD is absolutely overdiagnosed. I feel like that absolutely happens, but that does not detract from the fact that it exists, and there are kids that suffer from it. And I think that is dangerous because with the way that nobody wants to be crazy, and there's still large parts of the African American community that feel like these things don't exist and they don't get assistance with it, or they don't get help their family members get assistance with it. So that's very dangerous in a slippery slope.
So I told this dude, I'm going to put the homosexuality aside. This was just yesterday. I'm going to put the homosexuality aside. I'm going to put my qualms with him with my profession aside, and I'm going to give him another listen because those two things was really turning me off, even though he got some other stuff that I have issues with. But I'm going to start over. So while I'm starting over, what input would you give me that you think is positive about Umar Johnson for me to start looking at it in a different perspective?
I mean, I listened to like a bunch of his interviews and stuff, and it seems like his heart is in the right place. I think, people are going to have problems with your delivery of your message, or everybody's not going to agree with you. But I don't know. I just get like a genuine vibe from him with the when he was talking about the school he wanted to create. I thought that was a great idea. He was asking for a lot of money. I remember when he was talking about that, I was like, he gonna have a hard time getting that money up. But I don't know. I just get like a genuine vibe from him when I listen to like these other people. Like I used to be a big fan of Cornel West. I think he's kind of in it for the celebrity and all that kind of stuff. Used to like Tavis Smiley. I don't know. I just try to like pick up on people's energy and stuff, but I guess there's no real way of telling what their motives are, So maybe we still are waiting for that leader, The
only difference with Umar Johnson and everybody else is that he is not bound by the politics that Cornel West and all these other people are bound by. I think that the people you mentioned are in positions where they got to take a lot of other considerations to move forward. Umar Johnson got that freedom. That's how he can speak that passionately. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in the last interview, even when they did bring up homosexuality, it was a comparison match. It was I think it was a DJ called DJ Love. I think is one. I can't remember the DJ Talk Radio. I think that's the name of it. And she brought up homosexuality, and he just went on he just got it really got him kind of heated.
Right.
And he was saying that, they rights ain't important than black rights. rights ain't more important than black rights. And my idea is that they issues is 100% their problem, and my issues is 100% mine. I think it becomes a problem when you want somebody else's problems to cease to be their problems and be yours. Right. That's not realistic.
No, it isn't.
And it's not going to draw in people that can even be sympathetic to your cause when you saying, fuck your shit, my shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how he delivers that message sometimes. And I do think it's when he get caught up in people trying to wrangle him in, but he got to be more organized than that. That's why, to me, he is not that person that has emerged.
Yeah, because when they bring those kind of questions up, like, just say, don't compare struggles. We shouldn't compare our struggles. Like, my struggle is my struggle. It's bad. What's going on with gay people is their struggle is bad. The Holocaust was terrible. It's just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we can work to improve things, but just don't try to act like, what I'm going through is worse than yours.
Because nobody likes that shit.
Nobody likes
and at the end of the day, I know, to me, yes, the black struggle is the struggle for me.
Right.
I can't expect that to be the struggle for homosexuals, and I can't expect homosexuals to say, you know what, we'll put our struggle down here so that y'all can get it. Just don't work like that.
Yeah.
Right.
If we can't find room for everybody's struggles to progress on the same plane, then we just gonna be on the bottom of it the whole time if we expect everybody to just say this is their struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
And he do that sometimes, and I think it's because he get rattled sometimes, and he don't have that comes along with not having that political consideration.
Right.
Because he can get rattled and talk shit and still have support. Mm-hmm. David Banner kind of out there too.
Oh, he is.
David Banner and Umar Johnson just spoke here like last month.
Yeah, because I saw a lot of people on my timeline that went to it. And
they were sold out before they even went on sale. Mm-hmm. But David Banner, like, he had a good ass interview on DJ Vlad TV, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah, it was good the first 30 minutes, and then he started going into some random weird shit. I was like,
yeah, man,
I don't know, David Banner. I was with you at first. Now
we need to unite as a people. Let's go fuck these bitches. That's what he be doing. I be like, damn.
Exactly, like, huh?
Yeah.
He was like, in the same interview, he was like, we having problems with all this murder and all this death and the killing, but if a nigga fuck with me, I'm gonna kill his ass.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, David. But it was good because he talked about the problems that he had in roles that they was trying to give him in Hollywood, which is why he stopped acting so much, because they was just trying to give him them kind of roles. And I understand, because my brother been on some TV shows. He been on Two Broke Girls. He was an athlete.
Oh yeah, Red was telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah, he been on You're the Worst. He was a drug dealer. He been on The Mattress. He been on Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode called The Mattress. He was a snitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in the commercial with Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Where they was pouring champagne on phones.
Like, he was in that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The dude with the black hat, the one Max, the one he threw the phone to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Okay.
Yeah, so he getting all these stereos, so I understand that part of it. But David Banner, he got too weird for me.
Yeah, he was a little out there.
But anyway, Muhammad Ali, man, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean, as the clips pour down your timeline, just watch them. There's one of them where he dodged 20 punches in a row. I don't know who he was fighting.
Probably George Foreman. He was rope-a-doping.
Yeah. He was just
that.
I was like, see, that is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's the episode, man. Y'all got anything else on you got anything else on your mind?
I have a PSA. Because y'all know that this is a topic that's near and dear to me. I live in an apartment complex, and I have a dog who's been described as a Chinese dictator and a terrorist.
Yes.
When I am walking him and a random dog walks up that's not on a leash, I lose my shit. And I'm not even exaggerating. Sometimes in the middle of it, I'm like, damn, I need to calm down. Because I just get infuriated. I was walking him yesterday, And this little mop-ass looking dog come running out of nowhere, on nowhere to be seen. So I start cussing, like, who the fuck's dog is this going on? So this little white lady comes around the corner, and she's like, oh, that's my dog. He's friendly. But bitch, mine might not be. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know your goddamn dog. So if I had punted him because he scared me, then you would have a problem with that. Or you got a problem because I'm angry now because your fucking dog's not on the leash. This ain't your house. This is a complex. If you want Fido to run free and run wild, buy him a house with a yard that's fenced in and let that little fucker run around. But if you live in an apartment complex, please leash your dogs, because I get irate when that shit happens, because I don't know how Kingston's gonna react to this dog. I really don't. For the most part, he likes dogs, but you know how dogs are. They're really territorial.
Yep.
And they can be unpredictable. And shit, if I'm not even expecting this shit, because I'm just out lolly-dolling on my little stroll, and this fucking dog come out of nowhere, I'm not prepared, he's not prepared, and I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. And every time somebody's dog attacks somebody, first thing he's never done that before. So the point is, you don't know what the fuck your dog is going to do, why he should have been on a leash. I hate that shit. It infuriates me. And I just go off. And you had an experience where a pit bull was running around your complex and shit.
Yeah, I was grilling I came out there and a pit bull was just out there at my grill. And I'm like, I don't know if you a killer or not, but I ain't finna show you no film. I walked out there to my grill and I threw him a piece of meat too. And I met the dude. I was like, your pit bull got, it was a loose one day. And he was like, oh, I don't even know how that happened. He be doing that damn shit all the time.
Oh, no.
Came home and the dog just rolling around in the grill. And the dog was like kind of aggressive, when it came being around the grill. But the thing is, if your dog on the leash attack a dog that come up, they gonna be blaming you. They gonna be saying it's your fault.
Would.
That's what happened. If Kingston would have choked that damn dog to death, because he would do some shit like that.
I need y'all to stop hating on my dog.
If he would do that, like Kingston would take that motherfucker and just strangle him. If he would. And so if he did that and the owner came around the corner and the dog was laying dead, it would be your fault now. And she would call the police. And the police gonna ask you why your dog's so vicious.
I'd probably get arrested, because I'd be like, a better fucking question is why her goddamn dog wasn't on the leash. Because you see his leash right here. You see his leash. Ask her what the fuck hers was when he came running around the corner, and ask her where she was. It's the Harambe situation all over again. Where the fuck was you
I'm
when
so
your
glad
dog...
Kingston is a small dog. Like, if he was a big dog, like if he was a pit bull, yeah, that'd be rough.
Why would it be rough?
Because he mean. He is mean.
Because with the societal stigma of pit bulls, if he did the Kingston shit that he do as a pit bull, people be terrified. Like if Kingston was a pit bull side-eyeing people, they'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with that pit bull?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Plus Kingston bit me one day.
Okay.
No, he did.
Okay.
Look, you opened the door.
I did.
Kingston come running out the door he jumped up and bit my finger.
No, he did not.
He did. How you gonna tell me that he didn't bite me?
He didn't bite. What a bite mark?
He didn't bite it hard, but I felt teeth. I know what teeth feel like. I'm just saying.
The damn dog didn't bite you. I think you're still bent out of shape because of that little side eye incident.
I done got over it, man. But Kingston just.
I mean, On Point's not holding a grudge, and he got all vicious at him for trying to walk him.
Because you created a situation where Kingston felt like he was finna be kidnapped. And I really feel like he don't think you know what I tried to do. I really don't think he know. Look, he was like, oh, so you just gonna play her like that too? She don't know shit. Oh shit, nah, okay, I got something for your ass. Now I'm in part of his fucking death plans.
He got plans for me. I think he plotting on me. I really do think
I'm a part of him now.
He's behaving himself and shit, and I just feel like he's trying to get me comfortable and complacent.
So you believe he a Chinese dictator / terrorist too?
I think that he's a very intelligent dog.
Okay.
With some very human-like characteristics.
That's plotting on his owner's life.
I didn't say he was gonna kill me. I don't know what he's planning. I feed him, so unless he got another owner lined up, I don't think he would do that.
He might been able to foresee his death, like Chinese, try to do, and he done set up a plan that is going to activate activate at the end of his death.
Yep. That's what it is.
He's not. Y'all gonna have people thinking he's this mean little dictator / terrorist. He's not. He's a kind. Okay, maybe not kind.
He's as nice as the next door neighbor that you met and talked to a couple of times before you found out that he was on a plane with a plastic knife, trying to take it into a damn building.
Poor Kingston. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because with that, your neighbor your dog was out that one. I lose my shit. I'd be like, your fucking dog. Like, I can't.
So what would you do if the dog was just out on his own, like without an owner in sight? Because that's what happened with him.
When I found out who the owner was, we would have a fucking conversation. Because I'm outside too much for it not to bother me. Like, most of the time, I don't give a fuck what people do. Hey, whatever you want to do, if it don't affect me negatively, do it. That's fine. But I have to be outside too much to walk him for me not to be concerned about the fact that y'all letting y'all fucking dogs just run all over the place and shit. So now, when I find out who the owner is, we gonna have a conversation because this ain't your yard. You need to have him on a leash. There are leash laws. Like, it's not okay. And every time I see your dog off the leash, I'm going to get in your face about it. That's going to happen because I can't. I don't know how, because I know Kingston. And I know, for the most part, he's good-natured when it comes to dogs, not people. But I just know that dogs are unpredictable as well. My dog included. I like to think I know him pretty well, but I don't know if he going to sniff something on this dog that he don't fucking like. I don't know how their whole little situation even works. Like, how they decide whether or not they like each other or whatever the fuck. So I can't foretell how this little interaction is gonna go. But if you come out with your dog on a fucking leash and they sniffing around and they decide they don't like each other, we have some control over them, right? Because we can pull back. Your dog off the leash, and if I go down to try to break them up, because if I ever get bit by somebody's fucking dog when I'm trying to keep them from mauling my dog, oh my God, it's gonna be ugly. So keep your dogs on leashes, people. That's my PSA. Especially if you living anywhere near where the fuck I am.
That's what's up.
All right. Hey, that was Red's rant.
I need to do a part of the show every week, just Red's rant.
Look.
Don't forget about his dates, though. Let me just remind y'all about that shit.
Why would you remind
I'm
people?
just saying I don't want none to forget. If y'all want to hear about his dates, and we could do dates. I don't know if you've had bad dates. I've had some bad dates. Again, nothing like what he has encountered.
Ah, Lord.
Make sure that y'all either on the Facebook page, Twitter, the website, Gmail, anyway y'all need to get into contact with us to let us know that y'all want to see that shit so that I can relay the message to him. Because again, if I ask him, he gonna tell me no, but he won't tell y'all no. So
I love the people too much. You're right.
Well, I appreciate you, AC Blow, for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank y'all. This was fun.
So now, when I say, I'm not even going to say my friend, I'm just going to refer to him as AC Blow because I'm sure I'm going to still be referring to conversations in the future that we've had.
I'm sure.
So now y'all know who it is.
There it is. Well, anyway, y'all got anything else on your mind?
No, I'm good.
That's it.
Well, until we come to the next conversation,
We out.
holla.